VoyMonk vlog number 47. Yep, and this is going to be, not going to say the first Thursday, but for the most part, yeah, I've been looking at going into the 2025 as far as movies that I definitely want to see and what's coming up. And so far, from what it looks like, it seems 2025 will have a Superman rebirth. There is going to be a Minecraft movie. There's going to be, oh no, I'm sorry, it's Jurassic World rebirth, and of course, a Superman film. Tron Ares is also slated to come out in 2025, along with Captain America and Snow White, along with Now You See Me 3. I don't know if you've watched that franchise. Avatar 3 is also slated for 2025. And so far, those are the only ones that I kind of find of any real interest. There's a few of them that Wolfman I've also seen a little bit about, and of course Thunderbolt. But the ones that I am definitely going to see and interested in seeing is Megan 2.0. I thought the first one was pretty hilarious. I'm also interested in seeing Tron Ares. I actually thought that the second one that they did, Legacy, was actually all right. And probably just for giggles, I do want to see the Minecraft film. Only because I'm kind of interested in seeing how ridiculous it will wind up turning out to be. As far as the Superman film, I don't know. This is now the third Superman, or actually, I guess, the fourth Superman in my lifetime that they've done. And of all the Supermans that they've ever done, I have to say Henry Cavill is probably my favorite of all overall. Of all the Supermans there have been. I do like Christopher Reeves. I know there's some people saying, how could you? Yeah, Christopher Reeves was good. I think he was certainly great for his time, although I think Henry Cavill, even without the belt, kind of, I guess as far as a visual representation of Superman in a modern time and telling, is probably the best Superman that I think there has been since the franchise. And I think it's unfortunate that he's no longer a part of the DCU universe. That's what I'm not really a big into superhero films. I don't have quite the critique that, like, obviously a Scorsese would have, nor do I have any position to be a critic. I'm not a critic. I'm not saying what people should see. I'm just telling you what I like. There are probably some more serious films that I haven't quite got a chance to see a preview of. I just actually went and buy some actual things that I've seen and heard about in terms of movies for 2025. And those are the ones that I'm so far interested in. I still watch sometimes movies or franchises in terms of, for the story. I do think that there are some good superhero films. I'm not exactly sure what you want to call it, superhero films, but I would say for the most part, when I'm actually looking for a story in a good film, I don't look to a lot of what might be catering to an audience, especially me, when it comes to that sort of thing. I'm more of particularly interested in, I would say, if I had to put up a good example, I think Venom was pretty all right. I thought Deadpool was funny because it actually had a really good story, even for all the wildness and the humor that was what made the film a really big hit. I think it'll be interesting to see whenever they decide to do a reboot of the X-Men, but I'm not exactly sure where there is to really go, and that's really kind of another problem with superhero films and franchises, is that sometimes there's really not a place to go or a story that hasn't already been told. I think the way that Prime has done it in terms of superhero genre with The Boys is not only interesting and unique in the way that it comes from a different perspective, and there's a little bit more for it in terms of meat on the bone, in terms of the overall story and plot. I definitely think, in terms of where a story has to go and what it can do, I've believe it or not yet to see a full episode of The Boys, but just what I have seen, I have found pretty impressive. I'm not, like I said, really into superhero films in general, just because I've kind of been burnt out on them. But it's definitely one of the better series. And so, like I said, going into this year, those are the films that I'm mostly interested in and have kind of piqued my curiosity going into 2025. And I'm kind of curious, if you're listening, what are some of the films that you would like to see or maybe redone or rebooted? I think it's going to be an interesting summer, to say the least, in terms of films, because unlike TV, I think we're going to see a bit of, I want to say a rebirth, but a growth in that particular market, because I think last year a lot of the scripts and a lot of the writer strike had a lot to do with what we saw. And since, like I said, television seems to be kind of going away, I think in as a result, I'm not saying streaming services so much are going to go away, but television, the way that it was, I think for where it's going, I think films are going to possibly take a different route. But I think it'll be interesting to see how that's merged with streaming services as well. So, but anyways, that's going to do it for this Thursday. First Thursday, I'm done. 2025. And hopefully you stick around until my next vlog. Take care.